Okay, so in this video, we're going to learn how to use a clipping mask. Clipping masks are really neat. They will take a font or let's say a vector image. Maybe you made like a medallion or a cool little graphic in AI. You could bring it in here and use the same way that I'm using for the fonts and change that image and bring that print into that image. So what I want you guys to do, you could use our favorite WGSN to explore all kinds of trending graphics. They have a lot of information here. I have some examples of a graphic that you could purchase in the market. These graphics sometimes cost up to $600. If you could believe it or not, I used to go to shows and, go through hundreds and hundreds of art boards and pick a few, and maybe we'd buy like 10 for the season. So all of this, see how it has the print in the background? That's using a clipping mask. And each image has to be clipped together. Clipped at once. Here's a really interesting one. See the wording? That has a clipping mask in it. And all of these images are brought into layers. So you have your water, then you have your birds, then you have the leaves. So each of these is brought in and put into a different layer. And this is what I want you to kind of explore this week using layers, and you can even use spray tools to kind of make it look like it has that spray paint effect, to create your own graphic. So here I used my image that I experimented with the different types of adjustments, right? And then I created my graphic and brought the image into my wording, right? I could see this on, because I used to work in children's wear, on a cute spring t-shirt for, let's say, 5 to 10-year-olds, right? Cute little t-shirt there. Got fresh. So here's how I did this, and I want you guys to follow these steps in order to create your own. What we need to do is to paint the background, right? So that's my ground color. That's my t-shirt color or sweatshirt color, right? Then I'm going to type. Here's my font. Now let me select it because it's the wrong color. Let's just use black, right? I'm going to move that over. And here's what I did. I went into the tool, the text tool, right? And up here, you see that little T? You could change your text and warp it. It's really fun. I use the lower arch, but explore and use different types of thing. Different types of fonts, warps, sorry. The rise is really cool. The squeeze. I'm going to work with the lower arch, right? So here's that. So see down here in my layering, I have right now, let's just hit OK so we can escape that. Move that to where we want. So it's pretty simple. You have your basic layer, the color. Your middle layer is the font, or if you had a vector image, you could bring that in, say a leaf, anything like this. The leaves, the carrots, an orange. So you would bring that in instead of using the font, which is fine. And then I'm going to bring in what I want to be put into my text, right? So there it is. Artboard 5. And on top of this, I want to add that cool saturation, right? So I really want this to pop. So I'm going to play around with this. I want it nice and bright. I like that. So that's that. So here's all we do. We click on the image, right? On your, if you're working on a PC, you'll be doing Control-Alt-D. On this one, I'm on a Mac, I'm going to do Command-Option-G. And see how my image went into my font. Pretty cool, right? So if you wanted to use a different size and a different word like I did, you then have to type it out again, bring in the image, and then bring it into the GOT again. Because it's smaller, I had to do it in 2 steps. And then there's another really cool thing that we could do to change the font. See how I have like this glowing effect, right? So all I have to do, I want to go into Artboard 1, right? Because that's where that one is. See how my GOT has these 2 effects? So I'm going to go into my Fresh. And if I double click on it, see this board is going to come up. And I could add all of these effects. I could add bevel, inner shadows. I'm going to do an outer glow, and let's do a drop shadow. It doesn't seem to have come up. And then the other thing that's neat about this is you could still play with your font. I could retype this and I can do basically whatever I want to it. So I could change the font. So you're not married to what it is. You can still change it around. So let's see why. There we go. Now my effects. See how the eye wasn't there? And now we can see it. And I have that little drop shadow. Do I like that? You know what? I'm going to keep that. So this is what I'd like you guys to do. Play around. Work with layers. I want you to use a clipping mask and come up with a really fun, cool graphic that maybe you'd like to use in your collection. Maybe you'd like to add into one of the new designs that you're working on. Or maybe you have a t-shirt at home that you're like, oh, this would look cool on. So I'd like you to have on your first art board your finished graphic. And then artboards 2 through 5, you guys are going to do 4 different types of layering adjustments. So I could see how you got along with doing the adjustments. And really, just have fun with this project. I want you guys to be as creative as you can. If you have any questions, just ask on the discussion boards. I could do more demos, and I could give you advice and help you out however you need. Also, don't forget you guys could see me in lab at any time. All right, have a great weekend and have fun.